Roar of the Protector. The majestic tiger's tail, deep in the heart of the emerald forest, where trees reached for the sky and rivers sang as they flowed, Shere the tiger reigned as the guardian of the land. His orange coat gleamed like fire in the sunlight, and his powerful roar echoed across the forest, reminding everyone that balance and peace were to be respected. Shere was not just mighty, he was wise and fair. Every animal in the forest knew they could come to him for help, whether it was to resolve disputes or protect them from danger. But even Shere's strength would be tested when calamity struck. One sweltering afternoon, a streak of smoke rose in the distance, followed by the crackle of flames. Panic spread through the forest as the animals realized a fire was spreading fast. Birds screeched, monkeys chattered in fear, and deer darted aimlessly, searching for safety. Shere bounded to the riverbank where the animals had gathered. His roar silenced the chaos. "Stay calm," he commanded. "We must work together to survive." The fire roared closer, its heat scorching the air. Shere quickly devised a plan. He instructed the elephants to use their trunks to drench the ground around the clearing and create a firebreak. The birds flew high to scout safe routes, while the smaller animals followed Shere's lead toward the river. Amid the chaos, Shere noticed a frightened fawn trapped near a burning tree. Without hesitation, he charged into the smoke, his fur singed by the heat. Grasping the fawn gently in his powerful jaws, he carried it to safety. The animals cheered as the firebreak held, and together, they watched the flames die down. The fire left parts of the forest charred, but the animals' spirits remained unbroken. Shere led efforts to rebuild their home. He asked the squirrels to gather seeds for planting, the monkeys to replant fruit trees, and the beavers to rebuild dams that had been destroyed. One day, as the animals worked, a quarrel broke out. The foxes claimed the fertile northern meadow for themselves, while the deer argued it should be shared. Tensions rose as animals took sides. Shere stepped in, his golden eyes narrowing. "Enough," he growled. "The forest belongs to all of us. We must share its gifts." He proposed a solution. The foxes could use the meadow during the day, while the deer could graze there at night. Both groups agreed, and harmony was restored. Shere reminded them, "Strength is not in taking but in sharing. Together, we are stronger." Months later, dark clouds gathered over the forest. Rain poured relentlessly, and the river swelled, threatening to flood the lowlands. Shere called a meeting. "We must act quickly," he said. "The smaller animals need higher ground." He led a team of elephants and wild boars to dig trenches to divert the water. The birds flew to warn animals in distant parts of the forest, while Shere guided the vulnerable animals to safety. During the storm, Shere found a family of porcupines stranded on a rock surrounded by rushing water. Braving the currents, he swam to the rock and carried each porcupine to safety on his broad back. When the storm finally passed, the forest emerged battered but intact. The animals celebrated their unity and resilience, with Shere at the heart of their gratitude. Though the forest recovered, new challenges arose. A sly pack of jackals began bullying smaller animals, stealing their food and frightening their young. The frightened animals approached Shere for help. Shere confronted the jackals in the open clearing. "You threaten the peace of our forest," he said, his voice firm but calm. "You must stop or face the consequences." The jackals snarled but soon realized they were no match for Shere's strength and the united front of the other animals standing behind him. They retreated, and Shere's roar echoed through the forest. "Injustice has no place here. We thrive when we protect each other." As seasons passed, the emerald forest flourished under Shere's leadership. The trees grew tall again, the rivers ran clear, and the animals lived in harmony. Shere's deeds became stories passed down through generations, inspiring young animals to act with courage, wisdom, and fairness. Though his strength was unmatched, Shere knew his true power lay in the bonds he forged and the values he upheld. His roar was not one of fear but of love, a reminder that even in the face of disaster, unity and justice could light the darkest paths. Vocabulary words: guardian, someone who protects. Example: Shere was the guardian of the forest. Calamity, a disaster or great trouble. Example, the forest fire was a calamity for the animals. Unity, being together as one. Example, the animals survived the fire through unity. Resilience, the ability to recover quickly. Example, the forest showed resilience after the storm.
Harmony pece full coexistence.
Example, Shere helped restore harmony among the animals. Quarrel, a heated argument. Example, the foxes and deer had a quarrel over the meadow. Injustice, unfair treatment. Example, the jackal's bullying was an injustice to the smaller animals. Leadership, guiding others with strength and wisdom. Example, Shere's leadership kept the forest safe. Gratitude, thankfulness. Example, the animals showed gratitude to Shere for his help. Majestic, grand and powerful. Example, Shere was a majestic tiger, both strong and kind.